Have you ever seen such pretty dahlias? Right now I'm just walking through and I'm about to start collecting. These dahlias here at our house were a little late getting put into the ground this year. This is a complete opposite in transition from the farm that we're working over about 10 minutes away. But these are just a trial and error up on the hill here. And a lot of our things here around the surrounding of the property are almost finished. The sunflowers are finished. Most of the calendula is finished. The dara has been finished up. Snapdragons are almost finished. But the name that we have chosen to change our channel to is, you thought I was going to tell you that easy. Well, I will, but we have a lot of things to be going over in this video about how we've been doing some property searching, how we have been preparing and purchasing seeds and tubers for the upcoming season and for the fall. Well, if you're like some people and don't want to watch this video, you can skip to the end to figure out what the name change and the big reveal is, or you can stay with us, hang with us, and go over some of the things that I have been doing this week and what we have prepared in the near future. I never thought it would come to this, but we have been looking for properties in the past 2 weeks. And what we're looking for is an expansion. You know, here we just have a small amount of flowers, and it was a trial run for this year, as you could say. But next year is going to be much larger, on a much larger scale. We looked at 3 properties this week, looking for something that has a creek, or we're looking for something that has already built-in infrastructure, so it costs less out of our pocket, so we can go straight over there, maybe drop the expenses down a little bit, and potentially be there full-time as our home and for the farm. Tonight, Miranda and I and the kids jumped in the car and went right down the road a few miles. We found a property that could potentially suit what we're looking for. The property consisted of about 16 acres, and most of it was filled. And you know, the infrastructure was there, exactly what I was just talking about. The crazy thing about that is that it already had a septic and a well for almost 10 hookups for an RV. It had a fenced in area where we could potentially make a business out of and have our coolers there and have a cutting section and to have our fields. And then also it had a bathhouse with showers and toilets in it, 2 of those. And it was already set on a permanent structure. And all we would literally have to do is back into an RV or build a small cabin and literally be there after the closing. Imagine doing something like that. You would just literally back into it. Everything that we have, we would either become more minimal with what we have. If we can't use it and have multi-purpose, it's gone. And so that's the life we want to live. That's the life we want to teach. And also, as we're learning with the dahlias, we want to be able to teach people and give sort of training to be able to make it a wholesale business. On the flip side to that though, Miranda and Keslin and Vincent are right there, and I'm going to go down there and look to see what they're cutting. It was a surprise in the garden. Let's go. I come down to the garden for a second because Miranda asked me to come down here because she had something to show me. What do you have to show me?
We didn't even plant this. It just was like a volunteer. And I was like, maybe some, what did I think it was? Butternut?
A butternut, or an acorn, I think you said.
And then as it got bigger, I was like, no, this is a pumpkin. And now it's ready. It's beautiful.
What we've done with this garden, before the garden was actually here in the early spring, is we put some pigs out here. And throughout the winter of last year, we had goats out here as well, for the people that have been following for quite a while. And I think this pumpkin right here was a mishap. It may have been like a surprise because
it was a volunteer plant.
A volunteer. And the reason why is we were throwing pumpkins out to the goats and to the pigs because we had a place for them to live right here as we were transitioning to them to their other home. You see the film on the produce that's in the basket. That's not necessarily a bad thing for us because we don't spray chemicals on our garden. It's more so a preventative, and it's diatomaceous earth. I've got the diatomaceous earth, and I'm going to give it to Miranda because she is going to keep spreading it. Even though it does look like it's going to rain, as I said once before, it's more of a preventative maintenance thing. She may not be able to get out here tomorrow or the next day, so it works good. Here you go.
Yeah, it's done really well.
I hope, Mommy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they have a little bit of problems, but they've done amazing.
And to refresh people, what we have done with our garden so far, and we haven't had a lot of disease or pests, yet we have had problems holding our tomatoes up. but that's not what I'm about to talk about here. It's more so of the sprays that we're using. We're using neem oil, fish emulsion, diatomaceous earth. Look, and she's putting it on there as well. Diatomaceous earth, and that's about it for out here. And that has held off all of the pests.
We've lost a few, but I mean, not. That one died because it fell over. This one, it did give tomatoes, but it looks like this now. So it's done.
Yeah.
You're always going to have loss, but I feel like we've done really well.
We have, what is it, our 4th succession of green beans? You picked 3 times on the first one, right?
Yeah.
So in this little spot, I think we have done almost 52 quarts so far of green beans.
No.
Oh.
I want 50. We've gotten 34 quarts.
Okay, 34 quarts on something that's 12 foot wide by 20 foot long.
Yeah, it's not big at all.
It's not big at all. And we have, you know, done 34 quarts. And is that what you said?
Yeah.
34 quarts on this little section. It doesn't look the best because, well, of course, we're coming into fall. There's a lot of heat out here.
Last year our garden, I think, probably had less weeds and was more tidy, but it was all we were growing. We weren't growing flowers and we weren't doing the farmer's market. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's weeds, but there's also food in it. It's given our pantry some jars.
Our pantry is completely stocked up.
And I have more to go then.
We have peaches,
Yep, applesauce,
applesauce, green beans, tomato juice,
salsa,
tomato sauce, salsa.
like marinara, and then salsa.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of stuff in there. We were actually rearranging last night because we couldn't fit everything in the entire pantry. So we were going to be putting stuff in our attic. We got Keslin working over here. Mama's working over there.
I'm working over here.
Vincent's in charge, watching everybody.
Yeah.
But it looks like our green beans have got hit by probably some deer or rabbits. We haven't really had that problem this year, but I've been so busy with spraying flowers that honestly we've lacked on the garden the last half of the summer. But we have been able to pull out the food that we need. So I'm going to go back up on the hill because I have an order to fill. And she wanted to show me that there was a wild pumpkin from last year in there. And then also right down below Miranda in that dark area, we had some compost sitting there and we were pulling some zucchinis right out of that. So of course it wasn't hot enough, but it was broke down enough to be growing those, which was really cool. We have completely sold out for the last 3 weeks in a row on our farmers markets, which is a great thing to have. For the last year, I am new to wholesaling, but what I would like to teach people is how I got into it. Doesn't mean it's going to be that way for everybody, but we're running out of flowers. We can't even keep flowers at the market, can't keep them at the wholesaler. And I think that's a true blessing. It's also done with a lot of hard work as well. Miranda has been my sidekick, and you know, we work until late hours of the night, and I'm getting up super early to be out cutting flowers at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning, and just enough to make it through to the next week for cash flow. That's all we're doing. Just keep trying, and we have had a lot of support. Starting to get dark on me out here. Look at this one. Oh yeah, that's beautiful right there. If you haven't been following us on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, now's the time to do so, because I have been posting these and almost every week of a different couple varieties that we have been sending to the market and showing the bouquets that Miranda has been making. They're beautiful. And we have been supplying a couple weddings in the past couple weeks. Keslin found herself some. She has all the number 2s on the ground. She's probably going to go take those to Mama. Are you taking those to Mama? Okay. That's where she's taking those to. But I still have to cut. Miranda's pruning down at the bottom field. I still have to go through and cut a little bit because we have a couple orders to fill, like I was saying. It's starting to get dark on us. We had the burgundy, the dark dahlia, the strawberry ice. We have Cafe Royal. Cafe Ole Royal. And now it's really starting to get dark on us. Behind me here, I had a bed of German chamomile that went up about 8 to 10 foot. It cost me $5 to get that started. I had enough to get maybe 20 cups of tea for Miranda this winter. But the most important thing that I got from this was the seed. The seed was $5. Okay, so if the seed was $5 and I got a whole plate of seed, you never have to buy seed again. So with that, I'm going to have a 200-foot row that runs all the way up the hill, and I can put it in almost all of the farmers market bouquets that I'll have for next year. And there's no overhead for that besides my labor and my time, or Miranda's time, to put into that to be able to profit. Cutting zinnias right before it gets dark. One thing that I'll tell you for a pro tip, if you guys have not done it yet, because I had to learn this myself, is that if you do not cut them when they're all the way open, they don't tend to last as long. Maybe you can get a 5-day base life out of it for my purpose with putting some sugar in the water with them. But you need to make sure that they're all the way open for these things. Got the pumpkin way after dark now. You can probably hear me from that bad storm that's coming from down south up to Virginia. We're feeling a little wind from it, I suppose. But here's the magical pumpkin. Taking a quick break. It got dark on me. I'm gonna get the zinnias. All right. We will fill those orders and make a few bouquets tonight to send out for the week. But look at these tomatoes. Miranda's gonna peel them all up. Some of them is a pound and a half. Look at that. They're perfect. We'll use those as salsa as well. She has some of those over there. Then what she just now harvested while we were outside, right there, and she'll let those sit in the windowsill. Hold on, one other thing. Look at this. We have calendula drying over there. Maybe she's going to try out some salves, and we might be considering selling something like that. Look at that. We have applesauce, salsa, green beans back over in the corner. We have peaches, apple butter, tomato sauce. There's more tomato sauce, there's applesauce. We have chicken stock, we have beef stock, we have quite a few things. And then, only then, we're working on our prepping skills, even though we're not, I guess. We have a loud air conditioning unit right there. But over here that you can see, all-purpose baking flour that's gluten-free that we're going to be putting up. The moment everybody's been waiting for. When you have flowers on your kitchen table, on your windowsill, on your kitchen. Yeah, it's a little messy. That's real life. With 2 kids that's almost the same age. On your kitchen counter, on your mantle. These are all fresh cut flowers. You have dried flowers from over there. You have dried flowers on the wall. They're everywhere, even in the bathroom. When that comes into place, there's only one thing you can be called. The new name change will be the Flower Guy. Probably on our next video. Simple block letters with our YouTube handle on the side there. Windy Brook Ridge. I already had people asking me if I could sell these shirts, and I'm like, we just got them made for us as a birthday present. So, I'm the Flower Guy with Windy Brook Ridge. See you on the next one.